Awesome. And there's Maureen. Oh, how are we not doing? Yay, yay. Fabulous, fabuloso,
Hello, hello.
fabuloso. I just had a up close and personal with the naughty rule. And I'm afraid to tell you because I know you um, don't do things because you're afraid of a bad outcome before you've even done them the first time. Am I wrong? Oh, you froze, or you didn't freeze.
Okay.
Am I wrong?
I don't know because I think I froze. What did you say?
Oh, I said, I'm afraid to tell you the story almost because I know you're afraid to do things even though you hadn't done them yet. So you didn't even have a negative experience. You're afraid there's going to be a negative experience. So I'm afraid. But I want to tell it because the truth of the matter is this one negative thing happened for the same. I did the same thing for this one person that I've done that worked out fine for 100 others. So I can't let her reaction stop
Hmm.
me from all of that business I get, or not just business, but more people know what I do. But anyway, it's just funny because I wonder sometimes when someone is I I don't know how to I don't want to say negative. She's not necessarily negative, but um I would think it would be more like unrealistic because right? Because she's
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Yeah. Coming from my point of view on it, um, it's for me, it's fear, the fear of being judged, the fear of making a mistake and then I get frozen.
But see,
Like,
now that's why I want to tell you because let me tell you how I handled it. Because
okay.
in the end of the discussion, we both were fine. We're both happy. She sent me a smiley face emoji with her little cheeks red and even. Okay, so how this started was um, I've got a call out for auditions that happened Sunday. This woman messaged me, so I haven't talked to her or seen her in person. She messaged me from a nearby town asking for a copy of the script for her daughter. So I sent it, and then but she texted me, so I had her name and her. She told me her name. I had her name and her phone number. I reverse looked it up, got her phone number, realized her birthday was right around the corner, so sent a birthday card. This is what she said. This is hilarious. Um, and I'm not offended by it. It's just funny because I'm not sure anybody has much control over this, but she said, let's see. Uh, oh, let's see. The birthday card made me very uncomfortable. Okay. She said, "Where did you get my birthday?" I said, "Whitepager.com." She said, "The birthday card made me feel very uncomfortable." I said, "I send them when I know a birthday because receiving cards these days is very rare. So it was supposed to be a special treat. I'm so sorry." Because I definitely am not, I'm going to take full responsibility and apologize for it. Okay. And she went on to say, I hear that. Um, it's the part where you haven't met and you dug up my date of birth and address from the internet to send it. She said, plus, I've done MLMs, so I understand the pressure to market your business. But again, because my thing's on the back of the card. But again, we haven't met and I didn't give you permission to advertise to me, which that's the unrealistic part because do billboards get her permission? Do
Right.
everywhere you go every day, there's something.
Hmm.
So she said, when we meet, you'll see I'm very direct, but not unkind. And then she said, I was just so not okay and feel like you have the right to know that things like this aren't always well received. And I said, I'm absolutely okay and understand. I haven't received a lot of negative feedback, so I'm grateful that you let me know. I'll be more thoughtful in the future. Again, my apologies. That's what I wrote. And she said, "Thank you for hearing me out. I look forward to meeting you." So you just have to wrap it around. You'll notice I didn't say, "I'll never do that again."
Right.
That I'll be more thoughtful. Right. What I'm going to be thoughtful about is I'm going to make sure to take her birthday out of my thing. Now, her and her child are going to be in the play, so I'm not going to take them out totally. If they weren't going to be in something that I needed to have her address, I probably would take her out totally to make sure I never offended her again. You know what I mean? But I
Right.
think it's bears telling because that could have been bad if I hadn't apologized repeatedly. And I'm willing to do that. I absolutely understand that not only does everybody not want that information out there, even though it is, and people might consider me, I don't know, lots of things, forward abrasive, marketing when you don't want it, whatever. That doesn't bother me because, er, I don't know, that's how I pay my bills.
See, and I
You know what
had,
I mean?
yeah, and I had one lady one time, she said to me, and I used to work with this lady, but I hadn't, I left teaching. She went on to another school, and I saw her birthday was coming up, on the Facebook thing, on the side with the Facebooks. So I write all the birthdays down, and then I check the addresses, and if I don't have them, I go to White Pages. Well, as she had said to me, she messaged me and she's like, "How did you get my address?" And I said, whitepages.com. And she's like, "Oh, okay." So for
But
like
she
two
may have
years,
said, "Oh, okay." And see, you right away said, "Oh, okay." So you're
so
thinking
for,
she's negative. Go ahead.
yeah, so for like 2 years, I didn't send her a card.
Just because she said, "Oh, okay."
So so this year, I think I sent her, yeah, I sent her a card last year. So it must have been 1 year because I sent her a card last year and I haven't heard a word from her. I didn't hear a word from
No,
her.
because she might have meant, "Oh, okay." See,
Yeah,
I think when you're interpreting what someone's saying, what you want to do is immediately back up and say, "Oh, I apologize if that offended you," because she literally said you offended me. So I'm like, "Oh, I certainly didn't mean to offend you. I apologize for that. I'm taking responsibility for everything I'm doing. I'm not letting it change my strategy, but I'm certainly going to take responsibility for it, right?" And I don't feel bad about the way I do business because it's been working by
yeah,
and large. I think it, you know what, you have to think of when that happens is that if you are doing your job right and you're talking to enough people and getting in front of enough people, let's just use the example of door knocking. If I'm door knocking enough doors, I'm going to get every response, including I might even get punched in the nose once or twice if I'm knocking enough doors, because there's so many different types of people and so many different types of reactions. It's you're bound to run into everything. So I am not going to let her stop me from earning a living. What I'm going to try to do is when I see her, matter of fact, I'm going to touch her arm and I'm going to say, "I'm so grateful that you brought that to my attention." I'm not going to say what's in my head is it's not going to change anything. I'm not saying
yeah,
that out loud, but I'm going to say, I'm right. I'm going to touch her. I'm going to say, "I'm so grateful you brought that to my attention." And I am, because I actually feel good about that today because it's the naughty rule. If I'm not
yeah,
getting in trouble once in a while, I just plain am not seeing enough people. I'm not doing
right.
enough stuff if I'm not getting in trouble once in a while. So the fact is she got me in trouble. Yay. Yeah, but I think it takes a conscious effort. I could have sit here and go, "Oh God, I don't want that kind of feedback again," and stop doing my job. And I think that would be a mistake. Because
Yep.
in the reality of the situation is, if she doesn't want to get marketed to, she's better live in a cave out in, I don't know, rural Nebraska without a mailbox because don't listen to the TV, don't.
Yep.
So, and when I run across something that offends me, I no longer bother to try to school them because that's what she was doing. uh, why? Right? I don't know their whole story or whatever it is. I'm just gonna continue to do my business, and if what they did is something I'm not interested in, I'm throwing it away. I'm not gonna
Right.
contact them and try to get them to do better. Or
Well, you want to hear something else, which is it's not on this lines, but it's kind of interesting.
Hmm.
There's this lady, my mom and my Aunt Linda. I've mentioned my Aunt Linda before because Aunt Linda just passed away. My mom, my Aunt Linda, and another lady, the three of them, they've been friends since elementary school. So I've known Aunt Linda and this other lady. So I got the other lady's address about a year ago. So I was sending her cards. Well, I sent her a birthday card. And I said to my mom, I said, hey, and it's funny because Aunt Linda is Aunt Linda, but this other lady is just her name.
Yep.
So I said to my mom, I said, Mom, have you heard from? And she says, well, I call her and I leave her messages, but she hasn't called me back. And I said, oh, because I sent her a birthday card. And she's like, Maureen, you didn't send her a birthday card. And I said, yeah, I sent her a birthday card. She's like, Maureen, she's now a Jehovah's Witness.
Oh
I'm
yeah,
like,
but they
Mom,
they
how am I
get
supposed to know?
cards. No, they get cards all the time. They just throw them away.
Yeah.
They
I was like,
don't. They're
Mom,
not
how?
offended.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
like, Mom, how was I supposed to know that? I've known her for all my
Yeah.
entire life, and last I knew, she was not. I said, I said, so do you think that's why she's not calling you back because she's mad at me? And my mom says, no, it's just the way the schedules are. She'll call me back when she gets a chance. And I said, okay, because I don't want to, like make her mad at me. She's like, nah, she's not mad at you. She's like, but can you believe it? She's a Jehovah's Witness. And I'm
So
like,
now listen though, you're afraid of people being mad at you. Why is that?
it's just I've always been that way. My entire life.
But
And of
is it
course,
serving you?
it's not. It just all it does is it raises my blood pressure. It sends off my anxiety, and it just, and I know
Yeah,
this,
I
but
say you're proving my point here pretty good. I don't know how or when or what happened, but I'm assuming there's a whole bunch of people mad at me all the time. Mad and offended. Matter of fact, with the blue hair, I'm sure of it. I have people actually come up and give me a lecture about stuff, and it's like, oh, I'm sorry you feel that way. I just say that over and over until they walk off
yeah,
because
I all my
I think,
life,
wow, I bet you scream at the McDonald lady in the window too.
no, all my life I've always, and I think I know where this came. I think I kind of know where this has come from, but in my entire life I've always wanted everybody to like me. I did
Oh,
everything to get everybody to like me. And it wasn't until about, I don't know, maybe a year and a half ago. And I'm not going to say the word, but I was like, F it if not
mhm.
everybody likes me. So I'm slowly growing up, Lisa. I'm slowly growing up.
Now that I said that out loud, I think I do know something that happened that changed why I was thinking about it because um, I did a seminar where somebody demanded their money back, and they actually weren't mad at what I said or did. They were mad because lunch wasn't good and lunch was included. I wasn't even the one putting the meeting on, but so they they came to me wanting their money back over lunch. So anyway, I was shook up and I was talking to one of my mentors in speaking, and he said, "You got to think about this a little bit different." He said, every group that you talk to, every group that you speak in front of, there's going to be 20% of them that loved you. It wouldn't even matter if you did a good job. They loved you. They thought you were great. They're going to probably buy your book. They're going to stand in line to meet you, the whole thing, 20%. Then there's going to be 20% at the bottom that hated you. They thought every word out of your mouth was stupid, and they think you're ugly and they don't like your shoes. They just absolutely hate you. And then there's the 60% in the middle who could carry the way. They're not really interested, but they don't hate you. He said, don't try to convert the haters to liking you or the ones that don't carry the way to liking you. Go to the next place and collect the 20 that love you and keep doing that. That's how you're going to get a business and a book business or a speaking business, whatever you're doing, you're focusing on the ones that you're not going to convert because they probably didn't even like themselves or their mother or you know what I mean? There's nothing you can do about that. You're better off just to go meet another 100 people and get the 20 that love you out of it. And he said that works about every audience that he spoke in front of. And you know what? Since I started thinking about it that way, when someone gives me a hard time, I think, well, they're either in the 40 that could carry the way or they're in the 20 that hate me. Okay, then I don't have to worry about that. I'll just move on looking for those other people. And that made me feel a lot better because certainly every once in a while somebody will say, you know what, your presentation sucked because you weren't prepared enough or whatever it is. And I'll be like, whoa, I'm sorry you feel that way. And then,
Well,
and then I go
yeah.
on with my life.
I'll never forget this. This had a big impact on me when I was my last year of teaching. When I my last year I left teaching, I had been teaching third grade here in Vegas. I had been teaching third grade, and I got switched down to second grade for my last year. And I had this student, and the student was a bully. The student was just a little bully. He was in second grade, but he was a bully. And I would talk to him and I would tell him, you can't be doing that. You got to be kind. That whole it was before the whole bully thing. So anyway, I got called down to the principal's office one day, and the principal says, "What is going on with so and so?" Because his mother has called the superintendent. And I said, "Well, why did his mother call the superintendent?" And she said, "Because you were taken from third grade to second grade, his mother doesn't think you're qualified to teach her son, and she wants him taken out of your class." And
Oh,
at this point,
please do it.
and she says, "At this point, I'm not ready to take him out of your room." And I said, "Okay." Well, then about a week later, she called me down again, and I went in, and she says, "We're going to remove so and so from your room. He's going to go to this other classroom." And I said, "Well, what made you change your mind?" And she said, "She called the superintendent again." And I said, "Okay." I said, "So she's called the superintendent twice. She's called you twice. She has snuck in the hallway to listen to me teach the class, and she still thinks I'm unqualified?" And she says, "Yes." I said, "Okay, fine. Take them. I don't want them. Take them." So the very last day of school, my first grandson in New York, had been born on our very last day of school. So I was going around showing everybody the picture. But an hour later, this lady comes back to my classroom. And I said, "Hey, how are you? Have a great summer. I hope so and so and his brother have a nice summer and everything." And she goes, "Here, I have this for you." And she bought my grandson some baby clothes. And I said, "Oh, no, I can't accept that. You didn't need to do that." And she says, "I have to apologize to you." And she says, "Over the year, I would sneak down here and I would listen, and I should have left him in your room because he probably would have learned more in your room than he did in the other classroom he was in." And I said, "Well, I apologize." I said, "But unless you understand how the education system works, us teachers get moved around all the time. It has nothing to do with being unqualified." But after I heard that at the beginning of the school year, it kind of shook me for a little while because I thought I was an imposter already, you know? So, but then after it was all over, I was like, yes, I proved her wrong. I proved her wrong. And it was phenomenal. It was a phenomenal feeling.
Yeah,
But
I just think in her how her life probably goes because it's unlikely you were the only target of her wrath. It's more likely she also doesn't get along with her own boss and her husband's boss and the lady at McDonald's that waited on her and everybody that comes in contact with her probably because people that have that kind of personality, I
yeah,
think that ends up happening with.
yeah.
So, yeah, I'm
Oh,
glad you didn't let that stop you from being a teacher because there are people like that. There's gonna be people like that in this if you haven't already run across them.
yeah.
So,
I didn't leave teaching because of any person. I left teaching because I'm going to be honest. I could not pass the math part of my test. We had here in Nevada, we have to take 11 tests to
mhm.
keep our teaching license. And I am not a very good math person, and I could not pass the algebra portion of my test. I took that test 11 times,
Oh
and every
no.
time no, this is the worst part. Every time I failed it by 3 points.
No.
But they don't tell you this is the part you failed on.
Hmm.
They just give you your score. And I knew it was the algebra. So I took a class and I failed the class. I did I'm not that logical in my brain. And then I was like, I'm teaching second and third grade. Why do I need to know these hard algebra? So that was the reason I ended up leaving. And then he became 100% disabled, so it kind of worked out better. But it had nothing to do with it. I'd still be teaching if it wasn't for that
Well, I'm
because
glad
I
it
loved
wasn't
it.
that other lady.
Yeah.
Like I want to
But
show you. Oh, go ahead.
I
Go
want to
ahead.
show you something real quick. This
Mhm.
came from Fort Lauderdale, Florida, to my home when I lived in New York. August is postmarked August 25th, 1987. Okay,
Oh,
so it's a little card, and it says, "The family of Jackie Gleason deeply appreciates your kindness and the sharing of their sorrow." So even when I was a teenager, I was sending sympathy
oh,
cards
that's
and cards to
neat.
famous people.
Wow, that's neat.
Yeah. I hope you all know who Jackie Gleason is. I know the young
Oh,
ones
don't
who
even
listen
say
won't
that.
know.
Don't even, don't even say that. Oh,
I know. I
uh,
found this when I was cleaning the other day, and I was like, I gotta show the girls. But
I
yeah,
gotta, I gotta show you the. Oh, that's so neat. Yeah, I gotta show you this too. I'm gonna share screen here. I'm sure you remember Kevin, the car guy,
oh
right?
yeah, yeah,
Yeah. Kevin works on my car. And the reason that Kevin works on my car is because I've got a 14-year-old car, whatever it is, right? Let me see where I put that post. Um, let's see, here it is. Here's the post. So I've been doing this more and more because it's been working out so well. Okay, let me do this to tell you the thing first. Okay. So I sent Kevin the first time I went there, he saved me a ton of money because Jiffy Lube had failed me on the inspect because they said there wasn't enough light getting through the wrap on the windows. And Kevin took a chance and did a little bit more of a lenient reading of of the inspection and passed me. Okay. And so, right, so I sent him a couple brownies and a card. So the next time I went to him, I realized at that point that my car was old enough I couldn't go to Jiffy Lube because they're going to hold me to a higher standard. So I'm going to go to Kevin, who does a little garage in his, in his yard. And okay, so next time I went to Kevin, it was for something was wrong with it. Okay, and I went, and I was thankful that I thought to myself, I wonder how big Kevin's family is because if I sent two brownies, there's going to be a fist fight over there. So I said, when you sit down to supper, how many people are sitting at your table at night? He said, four. I said, thank you, because I'll send you four brownies this time. I don't want you having to cut them or anything, you know. So then I started sending four brownies, and I've sent cookies when he helped me with the Yonkers street sweeper took off my rear view. Remember that? And he helped me. So I had to go up there. I think it was day before yesterday, now Monday, and I had inspection again, which could have gone horribly bad with an older van I put on 20,000 miles this year. That's the most ever I know. Anyway, luckily it there didn't need anything, but he changed my windshield wipers, inspected it, and I was good. So I sent in brownies. And I've been picking some of my service providers and doing a positive post for them, and then sharing it in the other wear groups. Because guess what? When I do that, more people find out what I do too. Because this is the post um, with that I shared for Kevin. It has his business card, which when he was working on he only had one business card in his office. I took a picture of it instead of took it because I didn't want to leave him with none. And I said, shout out to Kevin at Concord Stage Auto and everything. Um, and I made sure to put highly recommend. But look, I put a picture of my van. So if you didn't know what I do, you do now,
right.
right? And then once I made this post and put it on my wall, which I got what 20 people to and some people to say something, which is nice. I also see how it has four forwards. Two of those are mine, and I send them to groups that are from where. So I'll look in here to see if there's one right now. Um, I think this is one from town. No, no, that might not be it. There's ones that were from my town, and they were, and it was like 20, 25 people.
Hello.
Of course, now I can't find the thing. Oh, here it is. We are where? 21, 22 people. So more people than the original post. And this is it in that group. So the Ware, New Hampshire group, which is mostly people I don't know. I just forwarded the post I already made, and I got more reaction over there than I did on my own wall. We love Concord Stage Auto. Kevin is amazing. So I'm able to get marketing for myself and for Kevin. Hopefully, he got business from that. So to me, that is like win, win, win.
Yeah.
So, right? And I think that's I'm going to do that more. You know what I mean? I did a reel for my hairdresser the other day, and I realized these aren't cards, but they were involved with cards because I also send the hairdresser a card every time too. So these things you can take your gratitude up a notch by trying to find excuses to give them marketing credit. You know what I mean? To get business for them. So that's what I've been trying to do. I did it for the groomer so far, the hairdresser, and now Kevin up at the auto place. I did ask him ahead. I said, "Do you mind if I give you a shout out on Facebook?" Sometimes I don't ask, I just do, of course.
Right.
But he's not on Facebook, so I wanted to know I did it, I guess. But
So from that
yeah.
that group that I've been in, so I'm starting to get Valentine's Day cards from them.
Mm,
And this
perfect.
lady, I had sent her a card. I had sent her a card. She says, "Hi, Maureen. I absolutely loved your Valentine's card, and I would love to be able to make some like it. I hope you have a wonderful Valentine's Day. Your your RAOC Random Acts of Kindness friend," and her name. And I was like, wow, guess who I'm going to contact
Yeah,
and
really.
show her the card. But I mean, it's
That's
just so
awesome.
much fun because we are just sending cards back and forth. And right now it's Valentine's Day, and I've been sending birthday. And I looked, and since I've been in this group, and I think I've only been in it for 3 weeks, I've sent 105 cards.
Whoa, that's awesome. That is awesome. So that's 105 brand new people that you never knew before. That's
Well,
perfect.
at the beginning, I realized that my website wasn't showing up on the envelope.
Hmm.
And I ended up having to call customer service, and I absolutely love calling their customer service. Well, what it was is when you put that little round oval next to the state,
Hmm.
that you can turn that on or off, and I had turned it off because, like, when I have you in there, I had you with Avon and SOC, but I didn't want that showing up on your envelope.
Hmm.
Same with the other people I didn't want. So I had turned that off. But for me, I knew who they were because there's some people that I have addresses who sell Avon that I don't know. I have never met them in person. So I
Hmm.
was like, okay, how do I know this person? So that's what I
Oh,
would put in
put them in
there.
a group instead. Put them in a group instead.
Well, now I'm starting to do that.
Yeah.
So that's what she did. She says, oh, I have to turn this on for you. So now there's probably 90 of them now that have gone out, or
Awesome.
95 that my address
Oh,
is
that's
on.
awesome.
Yep. And
That's
here's
awesome.
one of the Valentine's Day cards I created. This
Oh,
came off
that's cute.
Canva. This came off Canva,
Uh-huh.
and it just says Happy Valentine's Day, and it's a little teddy bear. And then have a beautiful day filled with love. And then I have,
Oh, the find a word. Yeah, awesome.
yep, I got this off Canva also. And then I
Nice.
went to ChatGPT, and I said, write a little thing. So they wrote, wishing you a day filled with kindness, smiles, and moments that warm your heart. Hope this Valentine's Day brings a little extra joy your way. Happy Valentine's Day from Maureen DeGregory, Random Acts of Kindness Group.
Nice. And
Yep.
Joanne must not be able to say anything because she's typing. I see you, Joanne. And thank you for the card you sent me. Look at this one. It says love looks good on you, but look at in the inside. Oh,
Yeah.
Joanne, you made my day, Joanne. I of course love pictures and include the man.
Yes.
You know,
Um,
how convenient I can call him my man because that's his last name, man.
exactly, exactly.
Oh,
I will
I'm
put
glad you like it.
Oh,
I'll put the
yes, I love it.
puzzles,
Go ahead.
I'll
Go
put them
ahead,
in
Maureen.
the group. I'll put them in
Oh,
the
thank
group.
you. Oh, and Joanne, thank you very much. I'll show him. So, oh, do you know, I send him a card every time I go down there, with pictures of whatever we did for the weekend or whatever. And he just posted on his wall yesterday, his brother sent him an outfit for Christmas that has scorpions on it because he's a Scorpio. And he took a picture, and of course, he's hilarious. I'm sure everybody else he acts more like I'm living the thug life, but when he's with me, he's not like that. He's like a little soft teddy bear. But his picture, he looked like the thug life, you know. But I took the picture and I said, I should send that to your brother. I've only talked to him on FaceTime, and so I'm going to. And he told me last night, I warned my brother that you were the card lady. Because I'm sure, yeah, I'm sure he thinks I'm a little crazy with that because
Mm.
I said that and he went, I've sent him over 60 cards, I think it is. Hey,
Wow.
Deanna, how are you? Oh, I've been dying to use my paddle. Go ahead.
I'm good. I had to find my my mic there.
Hey, you know what I wanted to ask you? I know you know Lynn Huber from way back.
Hmm.
Hubers. Do you know I didn't think of doing this until she did it. Way, way, way back. We were on one of those Art Jonak cruises together, and she sent from the cruise her postcards and stuff using send out cards rather than buying them at the little stores. Do you do that too when you're sending people cards from vacation?
Um, which put like when you're sending them out from why send I use send out cards in two ways with cruising. Um, if you cruise, they do like postcard exchange.
Oh, no, I
So
didn't know that.
okay, well they do a lot of different activities within the Facebook group before you get on the ship. They
Uh-huh.
create all these activities. So I usually sign up for the postcard exchange, and you can bring postcards from like your hometown or whatever, and then you have a group you're assigned and you exchange with 10, 15 people.
Oh,
So I
nice.
usually make my postcards on send out cards and I send them to myself,
Oh,
and then I
nice.
take them on the cruise ship because then you deliver them to their cabins.
Oh,
So then,
smart.
which yes, I can put my own little pictures in there of me cruising and whatever stuff. And then I also, for my travel agency business, I send my clients pictures of their cruise when they get home.
Oh,
And
smart.
then also of the ship before they go, you're booked on the ship, and things they need to do. So I use
Oh,
send out
that's
cards for that.
awesome. That's smart. That's why I don't know why she told me it because crazily enough, I was using send out cards already, but I was bringing postcards with me or buying them when we got off the boat and coming back and sitting there writing them out. And she said, "I thought you use send out cards," and I'm like, "I do, but." And then
Yeah,
it
you could take
dawned
like
on
any
me,
of the pictures that you took while you're on your trip. You could take a picture and use that as
yes,
your post
yes, and it's
and send out
faster,
cards.
way
Hmm.
faster, way easier.
Hmm.
But for some reason back then I didn't make the connection that I could use it. I'm thinking anything that you could do on a paper one, you can do on send out cards.
Hmm.
And for some reason, I wasn't making that. Yeah.
And I
I've
like
never claimed to be the smartest person going around here.
there's the card, and then there's the postcard, but then there's the bigger one that comes in the envelope. I like that one.
Oh, the flat card.
Flat card, yeah.
Yeah, I use that a lot. That
I
somebody
use them
sent
a lot.
me. This was Joanne too.
That's cute.
Joanne, you like that? You get a. I don't know if you know this part. You get a free Popeyes apron when you buy the pre-cooked chicken at Thanksgiving. They gave me a free apron because I
I
didn't
love
cook
it.
that I didn't cook
That's
that
funny.
chicken at Thanksgiving.
Mm.
But yeah, this is the flat card, no
I
inside.
love flat
Hmm.
cards.
I do this the
Yeah.
most because I think that people put them on their fridge more often if it's a flat card.
Yeah, I've had people like I know my mom has framed some of hers that she's gotten
Mhm.
because they go nice in the little frame.
Well, and the postcards, I don't, the postal service, I don't trust them not to leave marks on it because they
And they
machine
put,
it.
I was gonna say, they put that sticker, they put that label
Oh,
across the
yeah, and then the
bottom
sticker
on the
too. Yeah,
postcard, and yeah, I didn't like
yeah.
that. It
And
Mhm.
covers up half
I
the
think it's
stuff.
even the same money. I know the
It is.
postage isn't, but I mean through send out cards, I think it's the same money.
Yeah, it's included. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
not an extra,
Mhm.
and I think it's might be the exact same rate.
Did you get your thing straightened out with customer service or not?
I did. So basically, the it's the same plan. So the $79 plan has gone away. So everybody that's on the $79, if you haven't switched over, they're automatically going to switch you over in April or whenever your renewal date is.
Mm-hmm.
Mine's in April.
Okay.
Um, so that's why it says cancel and then all that other stuff. But she
Okay.
said it's exactly the same affiliate, but it covers all the prompting stuff as well.
Oh, okay.
So
Okay. Well, that's
so what I
good.
have now doesn't cover prompting, I guess,
Oh, okay. Well, that's good.
because I have
That
the old one, the $79 whatever affiliate thing.
well, I'm glad you got it straight, and I'm sorry I didn't know. So
That's okay. Now we
I,
know.
I'm like that about Avon stuff too. So don't
Mhm.
don't think it's just send out card stuff I don't know. I don't know a lot of stuff.
So,
Oh yeah, she was very nice, and it was really. She was like, "Is that it? Nothing else?" And I was like, "Nope, that was it."
No, their customer service is, matter of fact, of all the companies I've ever dealt with, I like theirs the best. And when you go out there for the little tour out in Utah, you can go meet them all and stuff. They're small enough that they still do that in house. At
Oh
least they were
wow.
last time I was there. So it's all friends of Cody's and stuff, family and friends that he has, the owner guy. At least it was. So what were you gonna say, Maureen?
this is completely off topic, but guess what I had to do yesterday, Lisa?
Uh-oh.
And I think you cursed me.
I do that to people.
I had to go buy a new hot water tank.
Oh no, I only needed a part. Mine was
But,
only a part. Oh,
here's when my neighbor and Sean were installing it last night, the water tank we had was from 1988.
oh no, see, mine isn't anywhere near that old because the house was only built 15 years ago.
Yeah, but
Oh, they're
so
hundreds of dollars, right?
it was
Hundreds.
it was 500
Yeah.
and $40 or something. Yeah.
Yeah, ouch. Yeah. The plumber guy, by the way, yeah, because I was saying that last week, right? I was at Ty's house, right? Yeah. You know what I feel bad about? His apartment building, they usually either have heat or hot water. You don't get both. It's like you feel greedy if you get both. You don't get both. So, but my tolerance for that, and I told him that, I said, I pay so much money for this house and I've worked so hard for this house that when something goes wrong, I feel like the house is attacking me. You know what I mean? I want it fixed right away. I have no tolerance for no hot water. I'm not doing that.
Mhm.
So when I left last week, I was a day early, so I left Thursday morning. I called Thursday during the day, must have been before the send out cards thing, and called the Dunbarton Fuel, the guy that does my furnace. And they sent someone immediately because of the cards and all that, right? And when I got home, it was hot. It was hot water,
Mhm.
and I've had hot water since. Because, and it's like that with the furnace, though, when we lost power, that's why I have a generator. Because once I couldn't heat this house that I paid so much money for and worked so hard for, I felt like it was attacking me. So I got the generator so I don't have to feel that way.
Mhm.
If I go down, it
Yeah.
goes, someone comes back up.
Yeah. I was in the shower. I was in the shower Monday.
Mm.
In the shower Monday.
And it went cold?
And it wasn't at the beginning,
No. Yeah,
but
that's
as
not.
I'm trying to get the
Oh
conditioner
no.
out of my hair,
Oh no.
and I'm like, and I had a doctor's appointment, so I was like, I have to leave the house. But
Oh.
I was able to get it out, but it was like I was
Oh.
freezing, and I screamed, Sean, we don't have any hot water.
Oh.
And he's like, "Yep, it's gone." And I'm like, "Crap."
Yeah, and it's funny. I thought the irony because the last what year and a half, I've been not happy that he doesn't have hot water all the time. I think
Mm.
that building owner should be in shame of himself because he doesn't give them less rent. You pay the full rent, and they don't have hot water. But I have such a low tolerance because I guess because I worked so hard for this. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't want stuff to be uh, so I turned that water on Thursday morning at 2 in the morning. It was ice cold, and I'm like, no, guess that's not happening. So wet wipes it was.
But
It's like
I immediately
can't wet
thought of
wipe my
you.
hair though.
I immediately thought of you, and I was like, "Oh boy, oh boy."
Oh,
But um, once they took it out, and Sean said, it's been here since 1988. I'm like, then how did we get away with it lasting? Because we bought the house in 2007.
that is
So,
crazy. That's a
so
long
how
time.
did we get away with it, even from 2007 to 2025? I mean, they only supposedly last for like 10 years. So how did we get away with it from?
I did want in the cards we do it too, but I did want to tell you what I said to the plumber guy because I word my cards like that too, because I want to make sure that you're dealing with me, if you're dealing with me in any way, if I'm the customer or if I'm the service provider, or if I'm your girlfriend, or if I'm your relative or your neighbor or whatever it is, I want it to be a positive experience. And that does help my business too. It's not, those two things aren't separate from me because when someone thinks of me, whether they're a neighbor or a business or whatever it is, chances are they're going to think of my business too because it's such a part of me. So when someone asks them who does Avon, they're going to say, "Oh, well, Lisa does," right? And they're not going to be shy about recommending me because I'm not argumentative. I'm not hard to get along with. And I'm grateful. But some of that I think is you have to make sure that people know that because of what you say. So I used to not want to say stuff. You know how hard it's been for, oh my God, Molly. I never said I love you to people until Molly made me. I mean it. Because my mother never would say that. Oh no, no. My mother said, if you have an emotion, you stuff that back down where it belongs. You don't go marching that around. That's what my mother said. So I would never say that. So now I try to say stuff that, and I realize not everybody says stuff like that. So what I said to the plumber, let's see. Oh, I didn't answer him right away. He took a chance and went in for the dog anyway. And I said, he said, "I'll let you know when it's up and running." I said, "Perfect. I appreciate you." And then after he said, "All set, the water's not hot enough. Let me know. I'll come back and adjust it." I said, "Fabulous. Thank you so much. I appreciate you like crazy." So, I mean, I want to make sure to use the exact words and with my team and stuff too. I'm trying to make sure I say things like, "I'm proud of you." Now that you may think it, but most of us don't say it
Mhm.
and with our customers too. You know what I mean? You may think, well, I'm really appreciative I got this order today, but you don't necessarily say it to the customer. What I'm saying is say it. Say it in a card or say it in person or whatever, because people don't get to hear that. It's right up there with I'm sorry. People people don't say it enough and people want to hear those things. And your team members and your customers really like that when you say it out loud. So I think a lot of us think it, but we don't necessarily say it.
Mhm.
And I get it because of what my mother taught me all those years. But I was thinking to myself, did that really serve me what she said? And probably not. I've gotten much better. I don't know. Everything has gotten better since I don't listen to that. I say how I feel. I say it out loud. I make sure I try to make people feel appreciated and loved and stuff. So,
I was talking to a friend of mine one day. This was a couple of years ago, and I've known this girl since we were in high school. And as we were getting done, it was through Messenger. And I was like, oh, by the way, I just want you to know I love you. And she was like, I love you too. And then I said, but not in the creepy way. I love you in the friendship way.
I was saying that a lot at the beginning too, because right, because right, yeah, it was awkward, right,
Yeah. But
right.
and I think and especially and not to get bring but I think the way the world has changed since COVID, our country has changed. People are not as nice as they used to be. At least when I was working, I would see that, especially, and I would just notice that people just didn't seem to be as friendly and as nice. So, like, whenever even a customer or somebody would come down through the aisle, and I'd smile and say hi to them, and the workers at Walmart would get me my price tags and my layouts. I'd be like, hey, thank you so much. I appreciate you. Have a great rest of your day. And now I just do that with people who call me. Like, like if I have to call one of the doctors for Sean to make an appointment, I say to the receptionist, thank you, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. I appreciate your help. Because, like you said, they don't hear it that often anymore. And I just think that like kindness is free. Sprinkle that stuff everywhere.
And you know how you wrote the card into it is I say to some people, I said, you do me a big favor. Do you mind giving me your postal mailing address so I could put a card in the mail to you? Because greeting cards is my thing. And I
Mhm.
just want to be able to do my thing today. So do you mind?
Well,
And they do. They give me their mailing address for it. It's
well, a
funny.
couple weeks ago, I went and had my blood drawn, and I'm a big girl, so I don't fit in the regular chairs, and I was trying to fit in the chair, and the kid said to me, "Why don't we come across the hall? There's a bigger chair you can sit in." So I said, "Oh, thank you. I appreciate you. I appreciate that. Thank you." And then he said, "Which arm do you want?" And I said, "Whichever one." And he goes, "Oh, that one looks easy." And without even thinking about it, I said, "I've heard that a few times."
Ooh.
And he burst out laughing. So when I got home, I remembered his name and I sent him a card and I said, "Thank you for your kindness," and and everything. And I'm like, and I wonder how many times they get told thank you.
None. You know what? I love that you sent him a card because the odds are he wouldn't have gotten a card at all from anybody.
Yeah.
And that's awesome. He
Yeah.
probably
It's
went and
like,
showed everybody and was proud. He probably showed his mom.
yeah. So I sent him a card and stuff. And I was like, but it was just so funny because he was a young kid. He was probably in his 20s. And when I came out with that, I've heard that a few times. He was like, mm, mm.
Do you
I was
know
like,
Alex gave me the address of he's living with this family with 11 people. His boyfriend's one of the kids, right? He's getting an education over there, by right. Anyway, I'm grateful that he's getting an education over there. But he sent me because he wanted me to send the mom a card. He said, I wanted to give you the name, so just in case you wanted to send them a card. And I'm like, yes, thank you. That is a good idea. So I sent one of the 12 pack of brownies because there's 11 of them. Yeah, I think that's cool. But
yeah.
I think because he sees me do it so much, because he's come home many times over the years and said, "Do you think you could send the band director some brownies because he was really nice to me today in front of everybody?" He's done that a bunch of times. So I mean this way of life is not just awesome for us, but it's something good for the kids to see. I
Yeah.
think, it's a modeling situation. So, yes, indeedy. So
Yeah.
what's
Well,
the
like
oh, I got one more I wanted to show you. Go ahead.
I sent my one friend a birthday. Actually, I think she put it on Facebook. My friend Debbie a birthday card, and she said her grandkids really enjoyed it, but they were trying to figure out how I bought a card with her name on it because
Uh,
I did the happy birthday first
yeah.
name. So the girls were trying to figure out.
That is funny. Yeah,
Yeah,
I get more people thinking I'm making them here, like printing them and
yeah.
making them here. Yeah, that would be a lot of money. I'm
I
glad.
do I do have a question, Lisa.
Please.
I know you had shared it with us before. Um, the send out, you had a card that you sent people who were interested, like in doing send out cards with like the send out card stuff on it. Do you know what I'm talking
Yeah.
about?
Yeah, I haven't done one of those in a while. I should do that again.
I was gonna say, could
Yeah.
you share that with us? Because I have a few
Oh,
people in
I'm
mind that
trying
I'd
to
like to
think if
send it to.
I'm trying to think of the last one. I'm not sure I could look in the library and pick it out that quick to show you right now. But
Okay. Or
if I
drop it in the group sometime.
right, I think well, I would do it different. Matter of fact, that's a good idea to just do that. Let me put that on my to-do list. Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Because it's yeah, with
Because
all the changes, it might be different information,
well,
but
and you know what? They have videos right now that Cody came out with the short videos, and it's a series. And if you just do a QR code for the first one, then if
oh,
they're more interested, they could go along. So I think that's how I'm going to handle it is I usually put pictures of send out card stuff on the front in the little boxes or something,
okay.
like me at the conventions or me doing something with send out cards, and then a couple of the gifts like the brownies and the logo and stuff like that. And then on the inside, I say something about send
See you
out
later.
cards. And I think it would be a good fit for them because of whatever reason. Either I know that they're a business owner and I have an idea how they could use it, and I say that, and then I think the easiest way now would I always put the sendoutcards.com/49381, which will send them to the landing page. But you can send them to that page with the videos with the QR code, I think. But do you happen to do the app on the phone, the promptings app?
I
Oh,
have the send out cards app.
there's
I don't
two.
know. Is
There's
it?
one for affiliates and there's one for making
Oh,
cards.
okay. Let me see if I have.
So the affiliate one is blue and it says Promptings Pro. So you may
No, I
want to
don't
look
have.
on the site and get that, but that's got a bunch of
Okay,
stuff in there, including some graphics and stuff that would be good.
and
Um,
it's called Blue.
Promptings Pro. Promptings Pro. I bet you it's in Send Out Cards itself uh,
Oh, here,
on the
Properties
site.
Pro app. It came up in the Play
Pro.
Store.
Oh, good. Okay. Yeah. Because they got a whole bunch
Oh,
of stuff in there, including videos. And when you send somebody the video using your phone, it's going to connect it right to your account automatically. So what you
okay.
could
Because
do
I
is
just
send it
sent
to your,
them my like the send out card /.com/ my name,
yeah,
my link thing.
yeah.
But I was like, there's got to be something else I can send them.
Well, I truthfully, I'm not sure I'd do a whole bunch of information in the card. I would
Hmm.
just send you enjoying send out cards, however you do that, and
Okay.
then some of the gifts or something, and then just send them a couple brownies.
Okay.
There's almost nothing that I have sent that trumps the brownies.
Yeah, I love the
No, I
brownies
haven't had
too.
anybody say, you know what, keep your
Don't send me
brownies.
brownies.
Don't send, no.
Right.
Oh, I have had one person, this was hilarious. She's a longtime downline member, big, big, big leader. And she said, I'm getting sick of the brownies because you send them every birthday. And I said, oh, would you rather I send you what you're sending your leaders?
Oh, what'd she say?
Mm, she doesn't
She
send them
didn't send
anything.
him anything, did
No.
she?
No, and yeah, she that was a humbling moment for her, I think. But that's all right. She did get the idea.
That's funny.
But I wasn't offended that she said it. I understand. But anyway, but I think I tend to do that.
Okay.
Uh, I keep it short and let them do the selling. I don't try to sell it. So especially with his videos and stuff now, where I like the fact that he took the feedback and came back with a shorter one. So I think there's one like a 5, 6 minute one because the
Okay.
first one was like a half hour one. I'm not even watching that, and I love send out
Mhm.
cards.
Oh yeah, people have too
Five, six
short of
minutes.
a attention
Oh yeah,
span for that.
right. So, but they've got really short ones now as the intro and stuff. I think I would do that. But if you go on the Promptings Pro app, there's a bunch of ideas and a bunch of videos that you can use.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll check in there.
The,
I
the my
I
card.
found it in the Play Store, so it's just
Okay.
Promptings Pro. I just gotta log in.
Yeah, the card that I send is mostly just I'm so happy with this. I thought you might like it too. Here's some brownies to help you decide more than
You
I
out of
don't.
here too?
Yeah, I don't. Just like with Avon, I don't put in the comp plan. I don't put in the chart or any of that. I don't do that with Avon either. Yeah. To me,
Cool.
mostly people aren't going to join for that reason. I haven't had anybody in all these years for either Avon send out cards or anything else I've done say, you know what, I'm joining your team because I like the comp plan chart. No, I haven't had. No, usually they'll say, I want to have fun with you, or this looks like we'll have fun together, or something like that. They're not, I mean, it's not usually, sometimes they say, I like the stuff we sell, but even that's not, usually it's something to do with you and how much fun you are or how available you are, something like that. So, and you are fun and available, Deanna Stevens.
Aw, thank you.
You're way more fun than me.
Oh, I don't
Cruise lady.
know. Yeah, I'm the
Cruise
cruise
lady.
lady.
No, I love that. I'm dying to go. Yeah, I think it didn't you say Carnival does the autistic cruises, right? Carnival?
Yeah, they have it's called sensitivity awareness, sensory ships that are sensory awareness. So like the newer ships are like that. So they when you and I did a training for it, but like basically they have a special kit they give the kids or adults. They have like headphones, they have like different things, and then each area of the ship will have like it's color coded, I think. So like if it's a light sensitivity, a hearing sensitivity, things like that to let you know what to prepare for. But yeah, they have a very good program.
Well, that's awesome. Yeah, I haven't talked them into we're
Yeah, I know.
well,
I was like, so why do you need to stay home? Like, that's no reason
yeah.
to stay home.
Well, I'm still learning this whole situation. I think that's
Yeah.
mostly it. So what I've done so far for traveling was things that I knew. Matter of fact, I said this to Ty because he says, why because I decided to take us to Legoland rather than um there's an amusement park, isn't it? There one like New York City where everybody goes and it's
Oh
just an
yeah.
amusement park outside. But to me, I don't know. I haven't been to something like that. I don't know how that works. Legoland's like Disney World. I know how
Hmm.
that works. I know I can get valet parking. I know I can go up to the door and get in. I know what kind of room I can look it all over. I know how we're going to eat. I know all that stuff. Going to some place I've never done. So I didn't want to do that because the two of them haven't done that much. I wanted to go someplace I knew.
Yeah. So you can
So we
help
went to
them.
Legoland, but
Yeah.
that wasn't actually a hit. Legoland,
Oh,
it was
really?
no, it was all right, but see, I hadn't been with Jaden anywhere, so I didn't know. Rides aren't his
Oh.
thing. The pool's his thing. So when we were over there trying to get him to ride rides, he kept saying pool. And I said, "You really want to go in the pool instead?" So we stopped and went to the pool. Even though we paid a lot to get Legoland tickets. But what does it matter if that's not what
Yeah.
his thing is? So the second trip we went to was Great Wolf Lodge because there the pool, there's a big giant,
That's a pool
all you
thing.
do,
Yep.
right? That's all you do. So I'd never seen him really laugh and stuff until then. And I'd seen him for a year and something at that point. But what happened is Ty brought him up to the little bitty slide, and he's bigger than me, but inside he's a little kid. Um,
Hmm.
but he went down the slide. Ty sent him down the slide, and he went underwater. And I thought, oh God, that's going to be. So I grabbed and fished him out and pulled him up. He was laughing, and he was so happy. I'd never seen him do that before, and he had. Matter of fact, when I go down there, he associates me with those places because we went together.
That's awesome.
So he'll say Great Wolf Lodge or he'll say Legoland when we go down.
So now
Right.
you know the water is his thing. So when you planning
Right.
for the future, yeah.
So that could work out cruise wise though, because they have those kind of
Oh
that
yeah,
whole
they
section on
have
the
the
cruise ship.
pools and they have the little
Mhm.
water, like the kiddie water area. They have hot tubs, all that stuff.
Because the
The
Kitty Wadi
beaches.
area is much like Great Wolf Lodge. So
Hmm.
I think that would be a hit.
Yeah,
But
they have the slides,
yeah,
stuff like that.
we're just not, he's not sure about the whole, well, and they have to have IDs and all that stuff. So we can't do cruise right
Yeah.
off, but I'm thinking about it and plotting and planning. So
Well, think about it. Let me know. We can chat, and I can help
yeah,
you with different stuff.
certainly. Well, looks like it's time already. I
Were
hope,
you going to show another card?
oh, yeah, sorry. This
Yep.
one is from Judy Madsen. No, no. Is it Judy Madsen? Judy Morgan, I think. Judy.
Morgan.
I know and get cards from three Judys, and this just says Judy. I should have wrote down. But this is a New Year's card with a poem on the front, and it just says, as we begin our journey in 2025, this reminded me that it's often the little things that can mean so much to someone. So that was so nice of her to
Thank
send
you.
out New Year's. That's like a page out of Peg's book where she doesn't do Christmas because everyone's doing Christmas. She did New Year's. So that's awesome. Thank you very much, Judy. Sorry I didn't write down which Judy, but I do appreciate it. And yeah, today is errand day because I'm going down at 2 in the morning tomorrow to Yonkers. My favorite part of the week. So Deanna, did you see that picture of me standing next to Tall, Dark, and Handsome?
Yes.
I look like
Do you want to show it again?
oh God. That was just so funny. I said, "Oh, usually we're sitting next to each other, so you can't tell the height difference." That was his idea for that tall picture, and I'm like, "That's why I don't like to do that because I look like a midget." Anyway, he's 6'3", but so I'm going to do errands this afternoon, and it's like 15 degrees out, so this ought to be interesting. So I know, huh? But yeah, I'm just glad my van's in the garage, so it's 50 in the garage, so I don't have to get in a cold van to do that. I can just go from place to place and run. But thank you so much, everybody, and I hope you have some good card sending situations come across your way this week, and that you amp up the gratefulness and the appreciation because it's a good business decision, not just a good life decision. It's a good business decision to be grateful and appreciative of everybody around you because then they want to do business with you. That's just the way it is. So thank you, and I appreciate you. Thank you and love you all very much. And we will talk to you later. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.